Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite sis, Terry. If you're new to this channel, hello honey, welcome. We hope you're here to stay. Please click the subscribe button below. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, your family, your enemies. Share this video with everybody that you know, everybody that you love. Okay. Yeah, man, welcome back. Hi, guys. I'm really glad the videos that I've posted so far in 2022, you guys are enjoying them. You guys are loving them. I'm so happy. I'm not feeling well today, and because another video came out, that has inspired me to just get on here and prep myself, because prepping to get ready to get on camera is also like a full-time job on its own. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this because the positive vibes that people have sent me are really pushing me to come here and record this particular video. So as you see in today's title, is titled "The Pursuit of Luxury is the Root of Misery. A tale of South Africa, the most materialistic, uneven society in the world." So yeah, that is our topic for today. And just before I get into it, I just want to say that I want to do an in-depth video on mental health with the recent passing of Ricky Rick. May his precious soul rest in peace. And I did address this in my first video of 2022, but I didn't really get deep dive into it. I think I need to do a deep dive conversation around mental health, and I'm also going to have a friend of mine, Tabitha Mukwena, who is a mental health advocate. She will come through and we'll have a discussion about this, an in-depth discussion about mental health and addressing mental health issues and the way we speak about mental health issues, because the first point of reference that people go into when such things happen is like, oh, we needed to be kinder, we need to be nicer. Yes, without a doubt, you need to do those things, you need to be those things, but I think the conversation is deeper than that. That people dealing with depression and mental health, it goes deeper and beyond being kinder. There's a certain type of understanding we need to have as people towards people, other people living with mental health and having mental health issues and living with depression and anxiety. So yeah, we're going to do that definitely. So without further ado, let's get into this video. The grim facts. Let's get into the stats a bit. The current unemployment rate in South Africa is 34.9%, right? Meaning that, and then also the youth, and 34.9% for the whole country, for the whole population of almost 60 million people. And then the youth unemployment rate is sitting at 46.3% amongst people aged between 15 and 34. And why include 15 to 18-year-olds? Because those people should be in school, or we assume that age group is an age group of people that should be in school. First of all, the United Nations classifies youth as 15 to 34, and in South Africa, the compulsory school age, according to the South African Act of 1996, reads like this, and I'm going to read it from my phone. It says, subject to this act, any applicable provincial law, every parent must cause every learner for whom he or she is responsible to attend a school from the first school day of the year in which such learner reaches the age of 7 years until the last school day of the year in which such learner reaches the age of 15 years, or the 9th grade, whichever occurs first. This is my first time hearing this, and I was quite, oh, okay. So the legal, meaning that parents are legally liable for children to go to school until the age of 15. After the age of 15, I don't think parents are legally liable, is what this act is saying. But in any case, that is the reason why this particular statistic includes people from the age of 15 to 18 instead of like 18 to 34 type of thing. And when we look at unemployment, it is the unemployment rate is concentrated in the youth, accounting to 59.5% of unemployed, which are people between the ages of 15 to 34. And there's also a stat going by 2 out of every 3 people in the youth age group are unemployed. And of 10.2, excuse me, I have something in my eye. Excuse me, as I was saying, of 10.2 million people aged 15 to 24, approximately 3.3 million are not employed and not in education, be it in high school or higher education or training. So 3.3 million people aged between 15 and 24 are not employed, they're not in high school, and they are not in tertiary institutions as well. So that is the grim facts and statistics of the country that we live in. Moving on. So now let's get into the income statistics of a country such as South Africa. So the income statistics read as such. They say a report by Standard Bank shows that more than 10 million households, and the number is 10,193,205. In South Africa earn less than 7,167 Rand per month, while a small elite population earns more than 196,668 per month. The bank notes 62.3% of households fall within the poorest income brackets below 86,000 Rand per annum, while middle income groups who earn 86,001 cent up to 1.48 million per annum comprise a combined 26.4% of South African households. And this is, according to the stats, that is South Africa's middle class. But I have a bit of an issue with that, and I'll tell you why. The wealthiest households only account for 1.2%, and those are people who earn more than 1.48 million up to 2.36 million per annum, with those who earn more than 2.36 million accounting for 0.4% of household population, or that is 65,964 households in South Africa have an earning of more than 2.36 million rands per annum. And you can divide how much monthly income that is. So the top class, is it middle? High class? Yeah. The top earning population in South Africa only accounts for 1.2% of the population. And the reason I have an issue with that middle class is that you cannot group a person that earns 86,000 per annum with somebody that earns 1.4 million Rand per annum. Because somebody that earns 1.4 million Rand per annum is actually a person that monthly earns with more than 86,000 Rand a month, which is what a person in the same category earns in a year. That is not making sense. It's not making sense. It's not making dollars. It's not making rands. You know what I'm saying? So that type of statistic does not make sense for me. So if you were to at least group people that earn 86,000 up to maybe 250,000 as the middle class, and then people that earn 300,000 right up to a 1.4 million as the upper middle class, then that type of statistic would make a bit more sense. But then this statistic, what also it tells us that the South African middle class is smokes and mirrors. It's a fable. It's a folklore. You know, once upon a time, there lived a people who thought they earned or who thought they were a middle class. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, then people were struggling. They weren't middle class. So the middle class in South Africa doesn't really exist. So now let's get into why luxury becomes the cause of misery in South Africa. Let's get into the reality. Let's start off by talking about let's start off with luxury, right, for rich people, right? And that in South Africa is 0.4% of households, and internationally, rich people who live in like Europe, the United States, the global north or the west, however developed countries, however you want to address them, those people, and especially people who come from like old money, which was also quite acquired questionably through maybe slavery and other means like that, such as those people started using luxury items. And the reason that luxury is the luxury that we know today is because luxury works on scarcity and rarity, right? The more scarce and rare an item is, the more expensive it becomes. The more expensive it becomes to acquire, the more aspirational also it becomes to acquire that rare, scarce item. Sorry. If Louis Vuitton was sold at any shop or could be sold at any shop, we wouldn't be discussing it as a luxury item, right? Because it's a normal thing. Like take for instance a can of beans, for example. That is an item that you can buy at at all supermarkets, even your local grocer down the road, even your local spazo shop around the corner or next door to your house. You can buy a can of beans. It is not a luxury item. But let's say it was a luxury item. It would be a thing that was not available in many stores. It would have a high price depending on quality and ingredient. You know what I'm saying? So luxury was born out of that industry, out of that culture of making things scarce, making things rare, especially after the Industrial Revolution, where things were mass produced, mass made. Some people came up with ideas to say, hang on, if we produce things in scarcity and mark them up in price, we would make money. Because for instance, you can find a bag for 50 rand, right? You can find a bag for 50 rand and have an equivalent of a Louis Vuitton that would cost you 60,000 rand. And you would go into Louis Vuitton and buy that bag as opposed to buying the one for 50 rand, depending on if you can afford it. So that is what luxury functions on. And one of its other functions that we need to be cognizant of in this conversation is that luxury items were used as a form of investment. Yeah, that's what I was saying about rich people before I derived. A form of investment in a sense that they would buy luxury items and vault them and store them so that should it happen that actual physical cash disappears, then you can use luxury items as a commodity or as a way of still maintaining your wealth status, right? Your status of wealth can still be maintained by how much luxury items you own. And by luxury items, it can be art, jewelry, clothing items, accessories, belts, bags, cars, anything else that is not money. Even property can become a luxury item if it is not a basic house that you need to live in and meets your immediate needs. But if it's like this luxury villa worth millions of dollars or millions of rands, then it also becomes a luxury investment item. And that is one of the ways that people were diversifying their investments, diversifying their money, and turning actual money into other things than the actual money. You get? Am I making sense? And the reality of luxury in South Africa is that the people or these luxury good stores such as Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, Dolce & Gabbana, all of those people, they're actually targeted at the what did I say? 1.4% or 1.2% of the population that earn 1.4 million and above, and the 0.4 that earn 2.36 million and above. Those are actually who these goods are targeted to. But because of the advent of social media and the things that we see on social media, it makes it look like those things are attainable. It makes it look like those things we can get. But if you actually step back and look at the stats, it does not really look like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's not really how things are. And now, because we see people wearing luxury items on social media, then we feel like, oh, they're so accessible, they're so attainable, when in actual fact, no, they're not. They're really not accessible, they're really not attainable. Yeah, you can aspire to have them, you should aspire, and, well, not you should, but they can be aspirational things for us to get, but it shouldn't be a thing that you break your back to try and get, given the circumstances of this particular country and continent we live on, where it's actually, you are most likely not their target audience, you know? And also, there was once an interesting thread I saw on social media where they were talking about how people below the age of 30 cannot realistically aspire for luxury brands. Only in your 30s will you be able to afford such types of luxury. And I found that to be very interesting because that spoke true, right? So in a sense that if you are going to follow a traditional career and not be somebody is in the spotlight, celebrity, entertainment industry, in an industry that where your success, the bigger your success, the more money you make. Where in a traditional career where you making money is a gradual thing, where you go to school, you go to varsity, start a job, you're a junior, you're an intern, you're on a learnership, you're on an apprenticeship, and you're earning close to peanuts, right? And then you get hired, then you're in a junior position, and you're still not earning a lot of money, and then you're like mid to senior, so on. And that is an evolution that happens throughout your career. The longer you work, yes, and progress, the higher your earning potential becomes. And that kind of status you will reach in your 30s. When you jump over into your 30s, you will now have been working for quite some years, maybe 10, 11, 8 years or something like that. And now you're starting to move into senior roles, senior positions, and you're able to afford. So I think the person who tweeted with this was Janine J, and she was saying, ladies under 30, do not put yourself under pressure to get these luxury bags. Do not do that to yourself. Just keep working, put your head down, keep working. In your 30s, that's when you might be able to afford these luxury items. And I found that to be very interesting, because now what happens is that we see people who are under the age of 30 who are on social media and who, because of the luck that they were able to come into, because also we need to speak about how luck also plays a role in people being successful. There are a lot of people who are influencers, for example, but there's only a few who are really coining it, who are really making money out of it. And a lot of it has to do with luck, having been in the right places and met the right people, or just making content that was widely followed or that went viral. You know, it's a luck thing, and we can't really even explain how luck works. And I'm not negating that some people work hard to get where they do. They do work hard, yes, but in some cases there's also luck involved in that. So not even all influencers can afford luxury items even. No, it doesn't. That's not how things are. That's not how it works. And people under the age of 30 who follow these influencers, young girls, see them carrying around Louis Vuittons and Gucci's and Pradas. Those were people who are not even Gucci and Prada's target market. And yes, they may use, this is something that Kensani once said in her video, that yes, they may use models that are young for their campaigns and their advertorials, yes, but that's not who their target markets are anyway. Their target markets are people over the age of 30 who are making money, who are rich. That is who the target markets for these luxury items with are, and that is exactly what I believe as well. So this is what causes the pursuit of luxury to be the root of misery in South Africa, is because we are trying to chase an unattainable dream because of the advent of social media, and every second person that you see is wearing a luxury item or in a luxury car. Then we think it's attainable, when in actual reality it is not attainable, and let's not even get into the discussion of those things that we see people wearing. Are they even real? We are not even going to get into that type of discussion, because if we were, then we would be called haters to saying, are we sure so and so really walks into Louis Vuitton and Gucci and buys items from there? Or if they even do buy items, are we sure that all of them were bought from Gucci? We're not sure. We don't know. As I say, smokes and mirrors. You won't know until you're in it. So, social media makes the depiction of luxury unrealistic, in a sense that it's not attainable. Those are things that we can get or acquire easily. It takes time, it takes money to acquire all of those things. And what then that does, right? This social media influx of people posting of themselves living or living in with luxury goods, because there's also a conversation about luxury, right, where luxury can be defined as anything that you do for yourself to live comfortably, to live nicely. That's not the conversation I'm having here. I hope you can also hear. The conversation here is about the luxury goods, the expensive luxury goods. A luxury lifestyle, we can discuss that at another time as to how you cultivate a luxury lifestyle for yourself and what that means. But in this conversation, it's about the actual material goods themselves. You're right? So what that then does is that it glorifies being criminalism and corruption in this country, because a lot of people then acquire money through criminal means and corrupt means, and yet here they are, when they post their car, when they post their clothes, and they post their homes, we like and we comment and we find them aspirational, we find them inspiring, and we forget that they have acquired their wealth in very questionable ways, and that's why they will be wearing all of these luxury items from head to toe, and we feel like, this person has made it, and we wish we could be like that too. And it does that. And instead of holding people accountable for embezzling, especially the government, we look up to them for those 2 seconds on some, okay, we know they're criminals, but this person is dressed in style. This person is living their life, We want to be these people. Meanwhile, they have acquired their money in unsavory ways. And how does that affect me and you? It means that was money that was supposed to be used by our state to improve the quality of life of poor people, of middle class people, of everybody living in the country. But because of greed and wanting to hoard things to yourself, the people that suffer are the poor people and the middle class people, because you're the ones that live in the areas that will get less attention and less infrastructural development from the government, because there is no money. Money is stolen and is busy buying luxury items, you know, that you go and whose pictures you go and like on social media, knowing very well that those people have acquired their money in questionable ways. That's just the truth of the matter. So I just want to address something. I just want to off ramp a little bit and talk about something and be a bit, what's the word? I don't know what the word is to use here. To say that, be a bit, be a bit shady. Let me be a bit shady here, right? For me, what we see on social media is so unrealistic. It does not make sense to me. And I personally do not find it aspirational and inspirational for a number of reasons that I'm going to state in me being shady, right? Firstly, wearing luxury items, or designer items rather, from head to toe does not make you stylish, does not mean you are stylish. All right? That does not mean you're stylish. That does not make you stylish. In fact, for me, it looks tacky. For you, you are wearing gunch all over. Gunch. You are a gunchist. Gunchist, gunch. Not cute. You know what I like, personally? And that is realistic. Even a person that earns the target market for those luxury items, living in this country, I don't think it would be a wise thing for you to be wearing gunch from head to toe. Because your money should be doing other things than you wearing gunch, especially in this country, and the standard of living here being very high. What looks and is realistic for me is that, yes, your accessories, you have your gunch sport on, right? I'll enter the gunch video that inspired me saying Gucci, calling Gucci gunch, is because of this video that I saw on social media, and ever since I'm like, Gucci is gunch, okay?
Mali, Togo, Mali, the different.
So it's made in Togo and Mali.
Yes.
And it's called what? What's the name again?
The bed. I say. I say gunch.
Gunch.
Yes.
Ah, gunch.
You don't know the gunch?
No, I don't know. Me, I'm from village, so I don't know.
Hey.
So I'm learning from you. It's nice. It looks nice. It's nice. Gunch.
Yes.
Gunch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this one is the same thing.
Okay. Yes, wear your gunch sporty, right? And your whatever brand you want to wear, sunglasses, with your top from H&M and your pants from Zara and your Louis Vuitton sneakers. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense if the look comes together. You know what I'm saying? Like, wear your Zara tights. You know, you're wearing your Zara tights and a H&M or Woolies Barking kimono. You know, with your Louis Alma BB and your Gucci slides. That makes sense. That makes sense. That looks realistic to me. And also I don't understand people who wear designer things thinking that it's them automatically being stylish. It doesn't work like that. You know a few people, I know a few people who we know are not stylish just because they wear, and they always a cringe moment for us, because we're like, what are you wearing? Rendoni sana. Take it off. You know, so anyway, that was me. That was me being a little spicy and getting into a rant, y'all, about fashion and being fashionable. Nah, fashion and being fashionable is not even about luxury or designer items. You can wear anything as long as you look beautiful and it looks good on you. You're as good as wearing $1 million item in my eyes. As the fashionista and the stylish person that I am, that is my opinion on style and fashion. Point blank. Period. All right, let's get to the end of this video. There is hope. There is hope. So what is the hope? What we should aspire to is to live comfortably. Like I was saying in my little rant, let's live comfortably. Let's buy the things we can afford, and not because we want to impress people that they can see us wearing gunch from head to toe. You know, let's wear the things that feel good to us. I have a spodie that is that has South Sea branding on it. I am gonna wear it with so much pride, as much as I wear my Gunch Sporty, which I don't have, but will have. Which I will have, I receive, and I put it out in the universe. Future me will be wearing a Gunch Sporty with the same pride you currently wear my Selfie Sporty. Because that is for me. Because I want to live comfortably. Let's live comfortably. Let's not put ourselves and get ourselves into debt because we want to impress people and feel miserable for not having things that other people have who are younger or older. This is your life. This is your race. You know? You must do things. And maybe you're not even a luxury item person. There are things that you would rather spend your money on. You would rather spend your money on a 50,000 Rand TV than you would buy a 50,000 Rand bag. That's fine. There are things you would rather splurge on, and that's fine. You know? Personally, right? How I see my future self, who can afford anything they want, is I don't see myself wearing designer clothing. That's just not me, right? I have no interest. I've never liked them. Even when I see them, I've never really liked them. Nah? What I do like and what I've loved is the bags. I want a Louis Vuitton bag. I want to own a Louis Vuitton bag one day. I want to own a Gucci bag one day. I want to own a YSL bag. I love those. When I look at them, my spirit lights up. And that's my thing, right? I am going to do that, right? And luxury, I believe in good quality shoes because I'm one of those people who have uneven feet or who walk in an unbalanced way where your shoes diba chrome ne diba checked, your shoes diba checked. Your shoes diba checked. And so for those reasons I must invest in buying good quality shoes so that they don't checked quick, you know. So that's a fashion I'm going to continue with, right? Where now somebody might feel like when I buy, let's say, like pumps, for example, and at this point I can only get shoes from Woolies, and a pair of pumps from Woolies is like $4.99, whereas at Mr. Price it's 100 Rand for a pair of pumps. I'd rather buy at Woolies knowing I'm buying one pair forever and ever, amen, other than go Mr. Price, I'm gonna buy 3 more, knowing asinya. So let's live comfortably, let's be happy with ourselves, and let's chase our own dreams. Let's define our own dreams. Let's not dictate what social media needs us to be, or who social media says that we should be, or what we should have at a particular age. Otherwise it's going to cause us depression and anxiety and misery, and feeling like we were not living fulfilled lives. Define your own life and say what it is that you want in your life, and go do those things for yourself and forget about social media. All right, I've been talking. Thank you for coming to this TED Talk. I love you very much, and take care of each other, take care of yourselves, pour back into yourselves, and